Hello SUMC, Rob here, reporting in from one of SUMC Music's winter homes with some more thoughts and another friendly check-in to continue to hope you're safe and well and to encourage you to stay in touch. This week, 2 thoughts about time to make the cantata. First thought. We have been doing a little publicity for this in the last few weeks, particularly during the announcements that precede the Sunday morning services. It's this time of year again, the middle of Advent, the time when the SUMC musicians hijack the service and put up a large work. It's Advent cantata time, and most of 20 years ago, I think it was probably Pastor Don Rudalevich who did the unthinkable, gave up his preaching time to let the choir and other musical folk tell the Advent story musically. I mean, what pastor does that? So we try to put up something of quality. It's usually a set of anthems, a multi-movement work, not unlike a symphony that you'd hear if you went to listen to an orchestra like the BSO. In the past, we've done large multi-part musical compositions by famous composers, or we've created a large work out of several smaller things. This year, it's the latter, 5 anthems which, in addition to being appropriate for the Advent and Christmas season, feature lots of nature or tree imagery, which lines up very well with the thematic thrust of our recent Stewardship Pledge Drive. Clever, ain't we? At least one of those anthems you will find familiar, but 2 of them you won't, for this reason: they're world premieres. As a kind of intellectual and creative exercise, and also as a kind of a composer stunt, Kevin and I decided to each take the same poem and set it to music, but without conferring with each other about how the project was going and how we were approaching setting that poem to music. That poem is the 6th one in the set of Wexford carols, which are Ireland's oldest known Christmas carols. Scholars argue over their origins. Some say they were created as early as the 12th century, others say it was as late as the 16th. I say created because they weren't written down originally, but instead passed down as oral tradition. And now, Kevin and I have turned poem number 6, called The Darkest Midnight in December, into a pair of anthems. Now, it's not a competition. You don't have to decide which one you like better. One of them will not win. Our takes on them are very different, and the choir, which will put them up on Sunday morning during service, has noticed that. Since they're the ones who are going to be presenting them, they've been working pretty hard on all of the anthems, which brings me to the second thought. Around this time of year, my version of Facebook starts to show me memories of past Advent cantata efforts. 4 years ago this very day, as the COVID pandemic was raging with no end in sight, I apparently posted this. An awful lot of Advent cantata thoughts popping up in the old Facebook memories column today. Those days will come again in whatever form. Yes, they will. And they did. They have. The year before that, according to Facebook's forever memory, on the morning after a Thursday night, December the 12th choir rehearsal, I woke up and wrote this. Note to self, should never take for granted the good humor of my church choir, in general, but particularly as was displayed at last night's final rehearsal before Cantata Sunday. We worked them hard, and they kept on not heading for the exits. If anyone's looking for a singing group to join, this would be the one. The more things change, the more they stay the same. And Kevin and I could not be more thankful for or appreciative of that. Somehow, our singers have come to trust that we will only run them ragged like this a couple of times a year, and that we will not set them up to musically fail, but to successfully present some music that we dare say nobody else in local church choir land is doing. Certainly not these 2 Wexford carol settings. They're world premieres, after all. And we think that you'll feel the same way about our choir this Sunday morning during service as we present this year's version of a large work. Hope to see you there. Anyway, please check back here every Friday afternoon if you like for more video hellos here on SUMC's Facebook page or on the SUMC YouTube channel, Sudbury United Methodist Church 2501. My email address will appear here momentarily. Please feel free to use it any time for any reason. If you'd like to chat more about this week's subject, perhaps after the Advent cantata is complete, I'm more than happy to talk or email or text back and forth with you about it. Because no matter how, no matter what, doing the work of the church together is the big thing. Keep in touch, keep the faith, stay connected.